Hi, welcome to Language Proficiency for LP for All. Today's Chinese story is called 洗衣服. So for the first three, I'm just going to read through it, and then for the second time, I'll be explaining the vocab and also translating them. 一对年轻的夫妇对面搬来一户新邻居。第二天早上，他们吃早饭的时候，年轻的妻子看到了新搬来的邻居正在外面洗衣服。妻子对丈夫说道：“那些衣服洗得不干净，也许那个邻居不知道如何清洗，也许他需要好一点的洗衣粉。”丈夫看到了妻子，沉默不语。就这样，每次邻居洗衣服，妻子都会这样评论对方一番。大概1个月后，年轻的妻子惊奇地发现，邻居的晾衣上竟然上挂一件干净的衣服。她大声地对丈夫说：“快看，她学会洗衣服了！我想知道是谁教会她这个的呢？”她的丈夫却回道：“我今天早上一大早起来，然后我把玻璃霜擦干净了。”在我们做出判断之前，首先要看一下你的窗户是否干净。So the overall gist of this story is basically this married couple, they had new neighbors that moved in, and they saw the neighbors washing their clothes outside, and then the wife saw them washing their clothes, and then she said, "Oh, they don't know how to wash their clothes are so dirty." And then they kept on saying this every single time, but the husband was just silent. He didn't want to speak up or anything. And then finally one day, he wiped the windows, and the wife was like, "Oh my god, they finally learned how to clean their clothes properly." But in fact, it was because the window was dirty. That's why the clothes seemed dirty. So the moral of the story is to before you tell someone else, some critics, make sure you know what you're talking about, and make sure the information you're getting is correct, because the clothes are fine. The new neighbor knew how to clean them. It was the fact that the windows were dirty. So yeah, that's the moral of the story. So now I'm gonna go over this each sentence by sentence, and then after each sentence, I'm going to be translating it. 洗衣服means washing clothes. 一对年轻的夫妇对面搬来一户新邻居。Newly married couple, a new neighbor moved in next to them. 第二天早上，他们吃饭的时候，年轻的妻子看到了新搬来的邻居正在外面洗衣服。The second morning, while they were eating breakfast, the wife saw how the new neighbor outside they were washing their clothes. 妻子对丈夫说道：“那些衣服洗得不干净，也许那个邻居不知道如何清洗，也许他需要好一点的洗衣粉。” The wife said to the husband, "Those clothes aren't being washed clean. Maybe the neighbors don't know how to wash their clothes properly. Maybe they need some better detergent." 丈夫看了看妻子，沉默不语。The husband looked at the wife, and he was silent. 沉默不语 is in Chinese there's 成语, and it's basically phrases that's pretty common or like popular. It's usually like poem and stuff. It's kind of like how like we say like sticks and stones and stuff like that, like those acronyms in American language. And 沉默不语 basically just means like, oh, like speechless, like silent, you don't know what to say and stuff like that. 就这样，每次邻居洗衣服，妻子都会这样评论对方一番。Just like this, every single time the neighbor washing their clothes, the wife would be commenting about like the same things over and over again, how like, oh, they don't know how to clean their clothes, need to buy new detergent and stuff like that. 大概1个月后，年轻的妻子惊奇地发现邻居的晾衣绳上竟然悬挂着一件干净的衣服。她大叫着对丈夫说：“快看，她学会洗衣服了。” So, about like a month later, the wife like surprisingly found like, oh my god, like on their ropes, like that they were hanging the clothes for drying, like there was like good clean clothes. And she yelled for the husband like, oh my god, look, like that neighbor finally learned how to wash their clothes. And then so basically like this rope thingy, in many like Asian households, and especially in like China, it's like they would have like a backyard or like a rooftop, and they would just have this like thing hanging, and it's just like a rope. It is just like a rope thingy situation, and there'll be just like clothes hanging off of it. So yeah, my drawing is kind of bad, but you get like the sense of what it looks like. So it's just like hanging off of it, and like from the window, the wife saw like, oh yeah, the clothes are clean. And then like she was like yelling for her husband like, oh, finally they could wash the clothes properly. And then next sentence is 我想知道是谁教会她这个的呢? So it translates to I want to know who taught her this. 她的丈夫却回道，我今天早上一大早起来，然后我把玻璃擦干净了。The husband replied, this morning I woke up really early and then I wiped the glasses really sparkly clean. 在我们做出判断之前，首先要看一下你的窗户是否干净。Before we make any like prejudices or like decisions or like comments about something, we should look at if our window is clean. And this the word window is being used as a metaphor for like kind of like your eyes or like your thinkings or maybe the way you look at the world, because many times like we would think something but then we realize, oh, that's like we were the ones that were like thinking it wrong, like that the like we might make like maybe like someone had a really like bad car, and then you would just like say, oh, like maybe they're poor or something, but in reality something might have happened to them, and it's like bad to just like make these assumptions basically. So yeah, and then now we're gonna go over the vocabularies. So 一对is like a pair, so a pair of young couple. So couples usually come in a pair because, you know, a husband and wife. So yeah, and 年轻的夫妇 just means like they're young, so like maybe they're newly married and stuff like that. So yeah, 一户 is like a household, so like new household of neighbors that move in. And then 干净 means clean. 清洗 means to like wash. 洗 洗衣粉 means detergent. 一方 is like, I'm not to explain this, but like basically, when the sentence says 妻子都会这样评论对方一方, it's like, it's just like something you add to like the sentence to give it more like, like make it more correct in structure. And it's basically saying how every single time the wife would comment about the other person like this in a certain way. Liang Yisen, Liang Yisen is basically this thing that I just drew. This rope thingy is basically like ropes just used for like hanging your clothes and stuff. So yeah. And then 悬挂. Okay, so 悬挂 is like hanging. So you see how like I drew it like this, is like just like hanging from this. So yeah. And then 擦干净 is to like wipe it clean. So yeah. Thank you for listening in to today's Chinese story. Bye.